You must create your life through each action and be content when everything you do brings you as close as possible to your goal. Marcus Aurelius. Life is not a pre-drawn path, but a painting gradually taking shape through each brushstroke you make every day. Each action, whether as small as a dewdrop on a leaf tip or as powerful as a strong wind pushing a boat out to sea, contributes to shaping the direction of destiny. When we understand that we are the ones creating that journey, we begin to live more slowly, more deeply, and more consciously with each choice. Being content does not mean giving up, but a state of peace when knowing that everything we do, from hours of diligent work, painful falls, to quiet moments of rest, is bringing us closer to the chosen goal. Like a mountain climber who cannot reach the peak in one leap, but must persistently place each solid step on the rugged rocky slope, people also mature through a chain of persistent and directed actions. Looking back, we will see that each passing day is not meaningless, but silent bricks building the house of dreams. It is in that process that joy not only lies in the distant destination, but also blooms in the feeling of satisfaction when knowing we are on the right path. That satisfaction is like the late afternoon sunlight covering the golden rice fields, not glaring but warm, soothing the heart and inspiring more trust in tomorrow. And then, when we live with that spirit of creation, each action becomes a silent affirmation that we are moving forward, we are growing, and we are closer to the best version of ourselves. We should strive to teach about tolerance and altruism because we are born selfish. Richard Dawkins. When humans are born, they are like a piece of wild land, where survival instincts and selfishness grow quickly like weeds after the first seasonal rain. That is not something bad, but a natural reflex to protect oneself in a vast and collision-filled world. However, if we only let those weeds spread, the garden of the soul will become barren and stifling, with no room for the flowers of tolerance and altruism to bloom. Teaching and learning how to be tolerant is like the process of a gardener patiently pulling out thorny sprouts, cultivating each seed of love, watering it with understanding and empathy every day. At first, the young tree may be fragile, easily toppled by storms, but over time, it takes deep roots and grows strong, providing shade for the planter and anyone passing by. When people know how to put themselves in others' positions, forgive mistakes, and open their hearts to differences, the world around us becomes gentler, like the morning after a rain, with fresh air and warm sunlight spreading everywhere. Although selfish instincts may be the starting point of the human journey, it is tolerance and altruism that are the path leading us to true maturity, where the heart is no longer closed off by fear, but open wide to love and connect. We can choose to return to safety or move forward to growth. Growth must be chosen time and again. Fear must be overcome time and again. Abraham Maslow. Each person's life is like standing before two parallel paths, a familiar road covered with old footprints of safety and a new rugged path leading to the wide horizon of maturity. Safety is as gentle as a warm cocoon protecting a silkworm from wind and rain, where we don't have to face risks or failures. But if we stay there forever, wings will never be born to touch the sky. Ahead, growth beckons like a brilliant dawn after high mountains, beautiful but requiring us to step through the darkness of fear, fatigue, and self-doubt. Each step forward is a choice to trust in our own ability to transform, like a young tree resiliently pushing through the soil to reach the light, even if the roots are still weak and the wind is strong. Fear does not disappear after just one act of courage. It returns in many different forms, like successive waves crashing on the sandy shore, testing the steadfastness of the will. But it is through each confrontation and overcoming that people become stronger, deeper, and freer in spirit. Growth, therefore, is not a moment of explosion, but a chain of persistent choices repeated, where we dare to leave the comfort zone to step toward the light of a better version of ourselves. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. John F. Kennedy. Life operates like a river that never stops flowing, where each moment is a new wave carrying away what is past and opening up shores never before stepped on. Change is not an unusual event, but the natural breath of the universe, like the four-season cycling, leaves falling and then greening again, night closing to make way for dawn. However, many people choose to stand on the riverbank, engrossed in looking back at old waves that have flowed far or focused on the water right at their feet, forgetting that ahead is a wide bend waiting. The past may be a book full of memories, the present a half-written page, but the future is the untold story where all possibilities can blossom. When we only cling to familiar things, we are like a bird afraid to leave the branch, not daring to spread its wings to explore the vast sky. Accepting and proactively stepping with change is how we immerse ourselves in the flow of life, to learn, grow, and renew ourselves through each stage. And only when we dare to lift our heads to look ahead, with hearts open to the unknown, can we touch the future, where dreams are not imprisoned by old memories or the limits of the present, but free to grow in the light of hope. As we grow up, there are many people telling us what to do, while what we really need is space to figure out who we are. Elliot Page. Childhood and the years of growing up are like a journey into a dense forest, where voices from others echo from all directions, guiding, warning, commanding, and sometimes imposing. People tell us to study this way to succeed, live that way to be recognized, choose that path for safety, as if life is a pre-drawn map just waiting for us to follow. Those pieces of advice are not necessarily from bad intentions, often wrapped in love and experience, but if too dense, they can obscure the whispering voice of our own heart. What people really need in the process of growing up is not just models to imitate, but a private sky to experiment, make mistakes, fall, and stand up on our own, like a fledgling bird that must flap its wings many times to learn how to fly. That space allows us to listen to ourselves, recognize what moves us, what scares us, and what makes us feel most alive. Only when free to explore like that do people gradually piece together the picture of their own identity, not with colors pre-chosen by others, but with real experiences of life. And in that necessary silence, we not only find out who we are, but also learn to respect our own unique path, a path that may be different but authentic and full of meaning.
Best quotes of all time, where the greatest quotes on the planet become your superpower.